Morning folks, Jeff Jackson, the Forage Fanatic here. I've seen a lot of questions and I get quite a few phone calls about this, and people be asking, hey, we have some winter cereals planted, or maybe we're going to plant some spring cereals and we want to take those off as a forage crop. So once we take that off as a forage crop in the spring, what can we do to maximize tonnage for feeding cattle the rest of the year? And I think one of the best kept secrets in our world is sorghum sudan grass, forage sorghum, or pearl millet, and primarily the hybrid pearl millet. So the next question is, well, which one do I plant? How do I harvest it? What do I do? Part of it comes back to what you have for resources for harvest and how you want to do storage and feed out. So first of all, yes, how can you get it harvested? How can you store, and how do you plan to feed? Because if you want to do silage, single cut, then it's kind of a no-brainer. Easier to do a single cut forage sorghum, and you're going to plant into about a 60-degree soil. For a lot of people, that's going to be in May, probably June 1st for people in the north. Single cut forage sorghum, great tonnage. And when you say, well, how much is it going to yield? I tell you what, the famous answer in agronomy is it depends. And again, it does. Most of it's going to be moisture dependency, but let's just say you do plant a forage sorghum versus a corn crop. Forage sorghum is going to take 30 to 40% less water to produce the same tons of feed. So great opportunity. If you're in an area that might raise 20-ton corn silage and it's a tough year, sorghum could be 20 or 22 ton. If it's a very good rainfall year, corn silage might be the right answer. But if you want to hedge your bets against the moisture, against the weather, forage sorghum is a great option. That's a single cut. You're going to feed it with, you're going to have to feed it in a bunker, a TMR wagon, or a feed wagon of some type, or a truck, right? Then you go to sorghum sudan grass. Sorghum sudan grass can be grazed, rotationally grazed. You can bale it, so you could do dry hay if you're in an area that's not too humid, or you can do baleage. Baleage is a tremendous option. You get in the field, get things cut, 2 days you're back out of there with 45 to 60% moisture hay, and that all depends on you and what you think you want to do. But baleage is very, very good on a sorghum sudan grass or even a pearl millet, hybrid pearl millet for that fact. So again, it comes back down to, do you want to do one cut or two cuts? I would suggest a sorghum sudan grass. You're going to get the best quality and utilize the full season if you do two cuttings. Now, there are some newer sorghum sudan grasses in the industry right now that are called photoperiod sensitive. And the reason I'm going to compare and contrast these two is that generally a regular non-photoperiod sensitive product will probably put a head on in about 60 days. So if you plant June 1st, you go the month of June, the month of July, about August 1st, it's going to put a head on. At that point, the quality starts to go down, the crude protein is going to drop. We put this scraggly head on there to make grain, and vegetative growth stops. That's why we need to take a normal or a regular non-photoperiod sensitive one and probably cut it twice. So you're utilizing the full growing season. You get that extra month, get out into September, maybe even October, depending on when your frost comes, when you need to get that crop removed to start the next one. So then there's photoperiod sensitive. We have some new varieties in the industry today that are photoperiod sensitive. And these photoperiod sensitive varieties will not put a head on until you get less than 12 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. So for many, many people, that's going to be right mid-September. So again, you could plant June 1st. That thing's going to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. And then when the daylight gets short enough, it's going to not completely shut down, but it's going to trigger it to put a head on. So that's about mid-September. So again, you could get June, July, August, 90 days, 115 days out of that thing before it even tries to trigger it and put a head on. So there's options out there. And then you get into the hybrid pearl millets. These things, again, guys, you could graze them, bale them wet, bale them dry. You could put them in a windrow and still chop these things and just like anything else. If you're doing haylage from alfalfa or grass hay haylage, swath it, wilt it for a day or two, get that moisture down in that under 60, probably about 55 to 60 range. Chop it, put it in a bunker, in a bag, feed it that way. So there are some tremendous options for summer forage, warm season forages following your cereal grain feed in the spring. So if you have any more questions, post them in the comments section. Get a hold of me. I'd be more than willing to talk to y'all about your options. Again, it's Jeff Jackson, talking a little cow chow. Hope you have a great day. It's your Forage Friday from the Forage Fanatic. Have a good day.